Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. We're gonna give this a second try. If you guys are watching with that first live that you just got to see, wow, I'm telling you, technical difficulties are a reality. I mean, I had this echo going back and forth. It was crazy. But we're back online. And hey, this is Front Row with Jelani Stokes. And it's so good to be with you on this Monday evening, normally on Tuesdays, but thanks to certain scheduling conflicts that were outside of my control, I thought I'd move this up to Monday so we can get started with this week. So, thank you guys for joining me. And if you're watching, thank you guys for just supporting me. And we're going to start off today with the segment that I love to call one of my all time. I love this song. First up, just want to say I really love this song, but it's also a great segment that I like to call for everybody. I want you to know. I want you to know. I want you to know. This is thanks to First Cousin's single, I Want You to Know. So go check it out. The link is on the bottom of the description. So what I want to talk about is a few things real quick. First off, I want to give my prayers out to Scott Hall and his family. For those of you, if any of you are wrestling fans, he was Razor Ramon in WWE. He just got taken off of life support, so I just want to send some blessings out to his family as they're going through this tough time. Another thing I want you guys to know is, hey, the Bengals just signed some linemen. Yeah, who day? So we're coming back to the Super Bowl in 2023. Yes. All right. So that's one. And then the third thing I want to talk about is, so today, you guys know I'm a music teacher. So I did not have a good class today. In fact, I would call my school day today a failure. Okay. But that's okay. And I tell my students, failure is okay because you learn some of your best lessons from failing. So although it wasn't the best day, I learned a lot from that. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, again, that's the I Want You to Know segment. So check that out on Spotify and all streaming services, including YouTube here. Okay. Once again, I want to let you guys know that Front Row is normally on every Tuesday at 6 p.m., but today we're making a special pivot. And then I'm releasing new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today is my Monday video, this Front Row episode. So tomorrow will be the first new video of the week, but normally every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. All right, so we're going to get into our conversation today that I think a lot of you, I find this very interesting. And today, joining us on the road again, my boy, one of my bestest buddies, Mr. Huston Brice. Yes. Huston, are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, he left me. I can't believe he left me. I tell you, these are things that happen. They leave and then you don't know what to do. It just hurts your heart. I tell you. Oh, but it's okay. We're having little technical difficulties today. So while Huston is trying to figure out what's going on with him, and we'll keep checking to see if we can get Huston. If not, he'll be back. Huston, can you hear me? Can you hear me, buddy? Oh, okay. Well, we will come back to our buddy Huston in a little bit. But at the meantime, so I have a lot to talk about on this subject. And hopefully Huston, if you can hear me, just go ahead, text, and I'll bring you on in this conversation because I know we were talking about this after the show last week. And we really were getting into this topic about the difference between boy bands and singer groups. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents, and then hopefully, Huston, just text me, let me know when you're ready, and then I can bring you on. So I'm going to go ahead and just give my 2 cents. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's some of my thoughts about the difference. I honestly think for the differences is that, I think boy bands were always patterned off of singing groups. I mean, literally, if you think about it, you talk about the old 50 doo-wop groups, and then you go into which I think is one of the biggest male groups of all time, the Temptations. And then you go to the Four Tops and all of the Motown groups, and then you've just got this plethora of singing groups out of the 70s, the Spinners, the Delphonics, the Stylistics. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But there was this time where the thing it kind of shifted. It went from like those groups into one of the biggest groups of all time. It went to the Tim Tate. Oh my God, I got my thing all messed up. It happens. It went from those groups all the way to the Jackson 5, okay? And then the Jackson 5 really were one of the groups that really kind of got this whole idea of boy band started. So I think we got Houston back on the line. Houston, welcome back, buddy.
Yo, yo, hey, what's up, brother? Sorry about that.
Hey, you know what? That's what happens on these things. We go through technical difficulties. We're learning our way through it. And the great thing is, as I was saying no segment, you know, failures are not bad. It teaches you things and it helps you become better. So trust me, I told him I had a failure of a class today, and it just happens. So, but let me ask you this: what are your thoughts and about boy bands versus singing groups?
Okay, man. So here are my thoughts when it comes to boy bands and singing groups, man. Boy band is a band, a group of guys or individuals who sing, but they also have a lot of choreography. A singing group is a group of guys who, they focus more on the harmony, the harmonies and the way the music should sound. Not saying the boy bands can't sing. I never say that because got some very talented boy bands out there. But say for instance, Boys to Men. To me, that's a singing group, but they're categorized as a boy band, and I just don't get that.
Well, and I could probably tell you why. I think because they came in during that era of New Kids on the Block, and then they were really popular in the mid 90s. So
Yeah,
they kind of got put into that category with the rest of the boy bands because if you think about it, when you think about boy bands, especially in the late 90s, what was it? Four or five guys singing,
yeah,
doing
yeah.
choreography. I mean, they fit that mold. And so I could see why. Here's something else that I thought about. Singing groups, the ones that we think of, we're talking about the Temptations, we're talking about the Four Tops, we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I'm even going to throw the Jackson 5 in there because they were kind of like this hybrid.
Yes, sir.
They were all organic groups, meaning they were all put together organically through like, hey man, you want to sing in my group, you want to be with me, you want to hang, and they got together, and so they were already formulated before they even became famous or anybody of any type of importance recognized them. Versus with boy bands, they were manufactured. They were the
Right, right.
Somebody had the idea to put a group together and went about utilizing resources to go find the individuals to complete the band.
Hmm.
So that's another thing. Think about
Yeah.
this.
See,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, and also, like also like with boy bands, you could start a boy band in your garage. You know, And but with a singing group, you ever watch the movie The Temptations and you see how they
Come on,
saw
man. Me.
when they see Melvin over there singing, and they had to put that group together, man, like a puzzle. Every piece of that group came together was carefully orchestrated. So it's just a huge difference to me, man, with boy bands and singing groups.
I'm gonna push back on that one. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I honestly think it's the other way around, how you described it. Because with boy bands, let's start with Lou Pearlman. Okay. For
Uh huh.
those of you who
Okay.
don't know Lou Pearlman, he was the guy behind Backstreet and NSYNC, and he got the idea from literally booking flights for New Kids on the Block. He was like, man, these kids are making so much money. I'm in the wrong business. This man put millions Yes, millions of dollars behind these groups to get them choreography, singing lessons, put them up in homes so they can be in the Florida area, and literally took care of every minute detail that was needed to make sure they were successful.
Hmm.
So he left no expense unturned to make these boys successful. Versus a boy band, I mean, versus a singing group. I mean, that was the guys who would get in the garage and start doo-wop and doo-wop and doo-wop. Amen. And then the guy be like this, oh no, man, hey, you flat, dude. Man, we can't work with Dennis, man. Hey, go over and get me Eric. I mean, that's kind of how it would work. Yeah, and but I think the turning point between singing groups and boy bands was the Jackson 5, and then it really solidified with New Edition. Okay.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
New Edition was an organic group. Okay. But their focus was more on the show versus the actual singing of the songs. They were trying to get on stage and do the choreography and look good and have a great show. And I think Maurice Starr saw that. And then I'm not gonna get too much into it because I got a whole video on New Edition on one of my artist spotlights I'm gonna get into. But just to say this, that because Maurice Starr saw what New Edition did, he changed the world. And he
Yeah,
took that
yeah.
concept and he used it again. I'm not gonna give much more away. If you really want to know, go look it up. But or you could just wait for my artist spotlight because I'm gonna break it down with New Edition. But then you got New Kids on the Block, and then here's the other thing. Singing groups, especially back in the 60s and 70s, they were only worried about the singing and making records.
Yeah.
By the time boy bands come along, they were a property to be marketed. Think about it.
Okay. Okay.
You got
So, no, no, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
what I was gonna say is like literally, they were the hub of a marketing empire. New Kids on the Block made so much money off of stuff that wasn't even music, towels, baby dolls, collector cups, clothes. I mean, the list can go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, literally, they had so much just stuff that they could peddle out to their fans and make more money and more revenue off of than just the traditional album and ticket sales.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Just think about it. And that once NSYNC came along and Backstreet, they did the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
And at the end of the day, what was the goal? It was for boy bands was to get these boys on the walls in bedrooms across America. Singing groups, what was their goal? To have a hit album.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But you
Not
wouldn't say that
saying,
was the same thing for a boy band as well, though. I mean,
but at the same time, do you think they would have been satisfied with just having a hit album,
uh,
knowing there's that other revenue out there?
I don't know. That can go. I don't know. That can go both ways to me.
And you're right. It could go both ways. Because I will say this: I do believe the thinking has changed, and I think now everybody's thinking in those terms of
Right.
complete marketability. What can you sell? Doesn't matter if it's just music, it's everything. And you really are looking to you're really looking to sell all kind of things. So hey, we got somebody. Hey, welcome. Well, listen, we were having some technical difficulties, so things happen. And it's okay. We're still rocking it. We're talking about this great subject because, see, I love singing groups. I was in multiple singing groups. It is one of the funnest things. Here's a misconception. Two things. And I want you to tell me what you think about this, Houston.
Uh-huh.
Singing groups are not gender specific
No, they're not.
because
They're
you
not.
got some of the biggest groups ever, the Supremes.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
They were bigger than the Temps. Literally,
You,
they were bigger than the
yeah.
Temptations. They were the biggest group at Motown. There's some reasons for that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. Okay, if
Hey.
you want, there's some
Hey.
reasons for that one. Okay,
Hey.
but
Hey. And brother, you go. But
I'm gonna
go. you can go a couple generations after that, man. Jodeci.
You know what? See, here's the thing. I think that's a great that's a great point with Jodeci and 112 and then Jagged Edge. There was a lot of these R&B groups that kind of didn't cross over like Boys to Men. So they got stuck in that
Right.
singing group kind of mold. When Boys to Men crossed over, they became boy bands.
Yep. Yep.
So there's that. Here's another one. People think when you're thinking about boy bands, you're just trying to get cute guys who can dance or can't sing. I'm gonna tell you, man, Backstreet and NSYNC had some brothers who could go. Okay.
Uh,
So I think that's a misconception that you have to, you have to just be a looker and you have to just, be able to dance and beat the steps. I'm gonna tell you, for some groups, that was definitely the case. I'm not throwing no names out there, but I'm gonna tell you
mm-hmm.
some of them,
Mm-hmm.
they were like,
Mm-hmm.
like, you really? You do a national search and that's what you come up with?
It was all about the lead singer, man. That's what it was about. Long if you had a lead singer he was a crowd pleaser, the girl getter, then that's what the singer group was about.
And you're right, and I mean, look at NSYNC. It was
Yeah.
Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake. I mean, and then it was JC, I forget his last name, the other guy, you know, but it was really Justin Timberlake. And they were trying to make him the Michael Jackson, in which
Yeah.
in a lot
Yeah.
of ways he became that in his own way. He didn't
Yeah.
become Michael,
Yeah.
but he definitely became that in his own way. Like Beyonce is Diana Ross. Of
Oh my gosh,
literally
bro. Yeah.
people go look up Destiny's Child and the Supreme's career side by side. It is scarily uncanny, uncannily similar. It is,
I agree. I
oh
agree.
my God, it's so similar. It's
Yeah.
literally like history repeating itself. But you know, I think the boy band thing, unfortunately, to me, it's kind of almost a pejorative. It's really almost a put down, which is sad because these guys are talented and they're really just trying to just trying to emulate something that's been done for years.
Hmm.
But but these connotations behind the screaming girls and they only do dance moves and there's no substance to the music really got into the narrative. You could say that about the Beatles and especially their early stuff because they had
Hmm.
screaming fans. Their songs were very simple. They were not very complex until they had the opportunity. I mean, you could really call them a boy band, but I think if you would do that to a lot of people, they would find that to be a little
Oh, they've been knocking on your
disrespectful.
door.
Oh yeah, they'd be
Yeah.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
Same thing with a lot of those bands back then. Those could have been boy bands. Rolling Stones, the Bee Gees, the Who, all of those groups
Hmm.
because they
Yep.
were, the songs were not as complex yet until they got into their later careers.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you could look. I mean, what do you define as a boy band? Is it just guys who look cute, who happen to do some little bit of music and they could dance? Or I mean, because if that's the case, that's singing group too. Because I mean, they moved. I mean, go look at the Temptations.
Man.
They were known for their steps.
Okay, so was Temptations a boy band? I mean, I'm just saying. Were they a boy band or were they a singing group? I mean, because I think about all the bands back then didn't dance. So
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know. Because I
mm,
think you have to look at them in two different time lenses. See, when
yeah.
you saw the Temps, everybody it was a grown person group, like grown teenagers. Everybody was on the Temptations. When you think of
Hmm.
boy bands, that's literally kind of that skews towards a younger girl demographic, which
Hmm.
I don't think that was the case with the Temps. I think they just appealed to everybody. But with that said, if the Temps were famous like they were in the 60s and you put them in the boy band era, would
Right.
they be a boy band? Because they were all the same age
Right.
they were
Exactly.
all the same ages as those guys,
Hmm.
you know. But
Yeah.
when you look at yeah, so I mean it's a great, thing. And I mean literally you could talk about this for hours and you just come right back to square one. It's just like yeah, I don't know
Right.
if we got any closer to answering this question, but I think, what we came up with is really that Um, I feel like boy bands tend to be more of a um just kind of more of a manufactured idea of we're gonna start a band, we're gonna start a singing group,
Yeah, yeah.
and this is the goal versus a singing group tends to be a little bit more organic, where
Mhm.
people are literally kind of coming together on their own without outside forces influencing it. So that would be my main criteria without getting overly complicated at this moment. So, all right, man. Oh, and I will tell you guys, we had so much. We were really kind of going back and forth on this. Oh, we talked. Oh man, we had fun talking about the whole Diana
Man,
Ross
right.
Supreme situation. I'm gonna tell you, go look that one up. I might have to do
Yeah.
me a video on that one because um I'm not listen, she's one of the greatest divas
Man,
ever.
look.
She's one of the greatest divas ever, but I really felt like she had some help there.
Hey,
They
man.
had they had help, and I mean, they had the biggest help,
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
yeah,
Um, and you know what I'm talking about, okay?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and she had the ear of the biggest man at the company.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For
And
sure.
but I mean, I'm listen, she's one of the greatest performers ever, and I'm not gonna take anything away from her because people are gonna buy what they like, and nobody can make you famous. Even some people have really tried, so you can't
Mhm,
take that away. But at the same time, I mean, come on, man, that's an elephant in the room right there.
mhm.
So, all right. Well, thank you guys. This is Front Row with Jelani Stokes. We're going to do these every Tuesday, and we're going to always have somebody discuss different music topics and subjects. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a question that you would love to be answered on this show, answered live, please go to Ask Jelani Stokes at gmail.com. Again, that's Ask Jelani at AskJelaniStokes at gmail.com. Yes, and please, if you love what you're watching, you love this video, please make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell because trust me, I got new videos coming out tomorrow, my birthday, and Friday. And remember, the Wednesday, we're having the birthday video drop extravaganza where I'm going to be dropping not one, not two, not three, but four brand new videos for you to enjoy and celebration for my birthday. So that's my gift to you guys as a birthday gift. So, once again, hey, my name is Jelani Stokes, and I want to thank you guys for hanging out with this conversation. If you got any questions, please, please, please make sure to send me a nice message. And yeah, until then, you guys take care, and I will be seeing you very soon. All right. Have fun.